5 episodes in, and I got his TEO. Theo has not received any head pat. Xylo, it's your last warning. By episode 6, if I don't see one head pat, I'm boycotting the series. Granted, that may not mean too much because I'm only one person, but still, this is my last warning to you. Give TEO some head pats. Yo, time to speculate. I just got done watching episode 5 of Sense to Be a Hero. Now it's time to speculate. Off the muscle. So what we know so far is that none of the heroes are criminals. None of the heroes are actual criminals. They all prioritize humanities or their own perspective of what justice was. They all put their sense of justice first in order to help humanity. So none of the heroes are actual criminals because off speculation, we can assume that every single hero that we know so far, that we've seen on screen, isn't a villain. What we know is that Venetian was right. He hit it right on the head. It's a lot of cahoots and a lot of humans in these other factions that are in support of the Demon Lord, which we all knew. Well, I knew this from episode 1. Let's be real here. How many anime does the government actually, be the government and actually protect the people? Not too many times in anime where the government actually protects the people. It's not that very often. So going into these series, I already assumed that, okay, the government is going to be the issue. Because when is the government not the issue? If we haven't learned anything, we've learned that humans just cannot keep their hands to themselves. We will always think we are bigger than the program. And this is no different. Every single body in this show, except the heroes, of course, think they're bigger than the program. And it's so nerve-wracking. It is so irritating because where do we get off? Where do us humans get off thinking that we can control every single thing? We're always biting the hand that feeds us. And then when he or she tries to retaliate, we act like we're the victim, because instead of trying to develop a deeper bond with the goddesses and maybe they could work together to figure out how to overcome all of their challenges, the first thing we think of is to control them and try to dissect one of them. It's so bad. It is so bad because we're always taught make relationships. There are power in relationships. It's not about what you know, about who you know. Yet when we do interact with such powerful people, especially if they're more powerful than us, all that goes out the window, and our first thought is to try to control them, or how can we get them to do what we want them to do, instead of working with them to maybe try to get some of their power naturally, or just being in a serviceship. It's okay, but because humans naturally don't want to bend the knee to anybody else, we get off trying to control things that we have no business trying to control. If your brain can't understand it, you probably shouldn't demand it, but it's going to lead to humanity's downfall. In GTA, of course, I'm talking about Sense to Be a Hero. That is ultimately what it's going to lead. It's going to lead to the humanity downfall. I think that is the most realistic outcome for this show, but is it going to end like that? Of course not, because Sense to Be a Hero, we have to see him make the all-time comeback. We have to see Goddess TEO receive her head patched. But nonetheless, another thing I want to talk about, is it just me or every other goddess, what would you say, holder or specimen, or anybody that is acquainted with a goddess, I just can't look at them with trustworthy eye. Only person that I trust with his or her goddess is Xylo, because he's actually a good person. I just don't believe in anybody else that has a goddess with them, especially if they're under the government control. Because let's be real, the government is already breached. It's already some demingolons, if you can say that on YouTube, and it's already some undercover spies already. So if I'm not that brazen to assume, how do we know that there aren't any corrupted officers that have a goddess attached to them, and they're using their goddess to help the demon realm invade humanity? But I could be wrong. This is just me speculating, but it seems like that is where it is going. And even when I saw Captain Horde, when he patted Pale Mary on the head, I didn't like that. It felt like abuse. I felt the abuse. You can see how it's just not genuine love. It's kind of crazy how you can tell those things. Even if this wasn't anime, you can just tell if something's not genuine. And him giving her a head pat doesn't seem genuine. It doesn't seem like he actually cares. He only doing it out of a sense of obligation to keep his or her goddess happy. I just don't like. I just feel like everybody else is just mistreating their goddess, and it really irks my soul. Cause I just know. At this point in my life, if I'm being real, anytime that I'm watching a show like this, at this point, not gonna lie to you, I'm cheering on the demon realm every single time. It's not too many times where I watch series like this that have humanity versus the demon cultivation, the demon territory, or demon embassy. It's not too many times where that's the case and I support the government or I support humans, because 9 times out of 10, when you get to the end of the story, they always hit you with that, oh, it was humanity's fault because we chose to go kidnap or betray the first person. It's always us. It's always us biting off more than we can chew. So, and I don't know if I don't know if I spoke about this like in one of my older videos, but man, we're living in such a great era to be alive when it comes down to anime, because the animation nowadays is just so spectacular that it can make even the most boringest things look very, very interesting. And now we having the shows and the plot and the stories to match up with the animation. It is just a chef's kiss. We've gotten a couple great shows just like this over the past seasons. One of the shows that I'm not gonna talk about today's video, but Sword of the Demon Hunter, Ig.Thewaifuboss show. If you haven't watched it, I think that's from like 3-4 seasons ago. Go check that out because that is amazing as well. But we getting a lot of shows that have very, very, very good, great animation with great stories, and this is another one. I'm very excited. Honestly, I binge watched all these episodes in one day, and there are two things that I want to talk about before I let you guys go. First, prayers up in the moment of silence for Za. And you may ask why. Why not? And second of all, every time that I see Captain Kivia, bro, I just PTSD kicks in, and she looks so much like Captain Bambietta from the Stern Riches off Bleach. If you haven't watched the 1,000-Year Blood War, you probably don't understand why I say that, so I'm going to show a picture of her. Bro, she looks the exact same character, just probably a tad bit less busty. But every time that I see her, I just think about Captain Bambietta and how she did that, you know, the soldier in that one scene. So I'm kind of scared for my boy, because I don't want him to go out like that soldier went out. So hopefully she is just a non-toxic love interest, because we already know that that's the love interest. If he doesn't end up with her, who are we kidding? It's obvious they're going to get married and have kids, because this story is going to end like that. It better end up like that. Hopefully the manga hasn't finished it, because I'm going to go read the manga right now, because my attention is already grabbed. And just like how I did Clevitis, I'm probably going to finish the whole thing in one night. I'm gonna try not to, but I'm probably going to jump ahead just a tad bit, not too much to where I overly spoil myself, but just enough to where I can make some, you know, just enough so I can satisfy myself, because I am not satisfied, because now I'm fiending for more content now, and hopefully you guys are fiending for more content from me. And if you are, subscribe, because next week we will be right back with the continuation for episode 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so on and so forth. If you have any other shows you think are worth watching week to week, let me know down below. I think I'm going to do Hell's Paradise and Frieren next, because I'm already watching and reading the manga for both of those series. But who knows? Now, and I will see you guys either next week or in the next video. I'm out. Peace.